Hello and welcome. My name is John Michael Collins. Thanks for tuning in to this week's episode. The music you just heard is fun, upbeat, and kind of depicts me. It was provided by my friends Marino and Noah Correa, who are part of a company called Cinema Sonic. Head over to their website down in the description to find out how you could get quality audio and visual works for your next project. I said in my last episode that this, episode 54, would most likely be the last episode of Genuinely Quirky Things. I've just been thinking of, pursuing my creative outlets elsewhere. I might get emotional. The last month has been it's kind of unexplainable, but there's been like a big shift in the winds, just kind of in life, and I guess maybe you could say this awakening, this just maybe stuff going on. I've been busier, my routine has changed, I've been doing different things. I've been trying to be very, very, very intentional with my time. And so I hope this episode would be a great, grand conclusion, or not conclusion, but beginning to that. Yesterday, I potted some new plants. I'm going to try growing peppermint, cilantro, basil, chamomile, lavender, sunflowers, and continuing to grow my fern Riley. My therapist recommended I plant some new plants just kind of to embody different parts of my life. It's been going well. I think I spent an hour or two, I got some terracotta pots, which are just like normal clay pots, and I got some potting soil, put the potting soil in the pots and soaked it and let them drain, and then brought them inside, and then I'm going to try growing most of them inside. And I spent maybe an hour or two today researching humidifiers, like what's the best one, or the most ideal one, because it's really, really dry inside, just in general, not just inside, but yeah, in general. And I'm trying to be really, really gentle with just everything, with life right now. But I'm excited to be transitioning in this season. The culmination of the Lenten season and the beginning of the Easter season, which Easter being a celebration of the time that Jesus rose from the grave, the time he defeated death. And with this new growth in these plants, it's like there's so much new growth in my life. It's just like a new step. With every new step, there's definitely unknown things. Yeah, I'm nervous. I'm a little anxious. But the most important thing that I can do is keep my eyes on Jesus. I know that he will never fail me. And he always helps me get to where I need to go. Because ultimately where I need to go is wherever he is. And that looks different for everyone in their life. Whether or not you follow Jesus. If you don't follow Jesus and you're not next to him, then that's that. But if you are next to him, then that's that. I started drinking coffee again because Lent is over. I had this really, really great ritual with my roommate's espresso machine. My old coworker and I called it a bloody latte. There is no blood involved in it. One day she made me a latte and put honey, oat milk, cinnamon, and espresso in it. And she said, hey, I made you a honey oat milk latte, or said something like that, and I thought she said a bloody latte. I want to give a genuine thank you for following me for this last year. This last year of Genuinely Quirky Things. It's more than a title because each topic has been a genuinely quirky thing. It's been kind of difficult, but it's been a good ride. It's been a really good enjoyment to keep me going. And I understand that some people might not have certain outlets like this to keep going, but I would encourage you to get a pen and paper and just use that to keep going. Journal. Write down your thoughts, whatever they may be. They don't have to be experiences. They can just be, what you did today. Because everybody, even if you feel like you didn't do something today, everybody did something today. As I move forward in my days, whether I do or don't post again, I will be thinking about, I wonder what those listeners are doing. I've posted a list of countries in this episode's description who have tuned in. I thank each and every one of you, not just being another download, but I care about you. And it would be super awesome to reach out to you and give you a nice hug and just say thank you for choosing to take another step forward. I appreciate you a ton from the deepest part of my heart. So if you are just joining, this podcast is a personal and therapeutic tool that for the last year I have called a vocal diary. It's been a space for me to just post random thoughts, talk about things, explore this really deep, deep, deep mine of my mind and see what I can find and process those things. And just post them for anybody to listen to and hopefully inspire someone. I haven't done this for any type of social gain or to be a better human. Ultimately, my initial intent in doing this was just to do it and help myself process things. A quick disclosure, as I've always said, that tangents may or may not be involved. This show is conversationally true to how I speak. And I want to give a shout out to EDC Crate for giving me the opportunity to smell good with their Billy Boys cologne. I hope someday in the future, when I run out of this bottle, I will try one of their other bottles or get more Billy Boys cologne. If you're interested, head over to their website, edccrate.com, and use coupon code GQT15% to save a couple bucks. So here we go. To when you go on adventures by yourself. I was at Niagara Falls one time. If you haven't been to Niagara Falls, it is a giant waterfall area on the border of New York and Canada, Ontario, Canada. I remember seeing a bunch of people walking and having the thought, since I was alone, oh, wouldn't you rather be experiencing this with someone else? This was in 2015. It was hard because I was alone physically, but I was also with Jesus. Jesus was walking with me. So I wasn't alone. It's like this daily back and forth kind of struggle between thinking I'm alone and thinking I'm not alone. Because ultimately I know that I'm not alone, but some days I feel alone. And I've talked a lot about being alone, and being alone is difficult. No one asked me anything about it. I just had that thought. And about a month ago, maybe a month ago, a little less than a month ago, I was thinking, I feel like I have misplaced my sense of adventure. Maybe COVID has just taken it away. But, I really, really hope that we're on the tail end of it. And I hope to go on more adventures. That's probably what it is. It's conditioned me into just kind of being numb to a lot of things. But that's something that I'm going to work on with this new growth in my plants. COVID has also made me very impatient. And it really hurts to say that, but it also feels good. And it's hard. Oh my gosh. And I hope, Lord, I pray that it gets better. I know it'll get better. It's just a really, really weird time. So adventures, you gotta take each day slowly. Sometimes you can't always go on adventures. And you gotta, maybe this is a really good thing that I'm learning. How to manage when I'm not able to adventure. A lot of times I've been content being alone and being on adventures. But I think a year ago I was like, this is kind of boring being alone. It would be nice to share it with other people. So that's what I've been trying to do. When I was in Seattle, I grew some other plants around Riley, like cilantro, sunflowers, basil, zinnias, and cosmos. I was like, yeah, it's time to bring other people into our life. If you don't know who Riley is, she is my fern, who is about, I believe, to have her second birthday. So when you can, I encourage you to go on an adventure. Adventures can be had anywhere, anytime. They don't have to be these grand, big, awesome, crazy things. You can have an adventure like waking up and going to make breakfast. That can be an adventure. Sure, it might sound boring, but you never know where you might find an adventure. To when I found a dice. I believe I still have this dice. I believe I found it maybe in 2016. If you've ever seen the movie Inception and you know about totems and dreams, the whole concept of being able to distinguish reality from your dream, that's what the dice was for. I actually don't know where I found it. Maybe I found it in high school or shortly thereafter high school, like freshman year or sophomore year in college. I don't know. But it's kind of like a cool little just trinket to have. I don't really ever play with it. It's like a trinket, like a Rubik's Cube. There are 6 facets of a dice. There's something different on each side. So try to find the different things in life, or try to go on different adventures in life. Yeah, just try to go on different adventures of life. Let me grab that dice. Well, I can't find that dice, but something that you do when you roll a dice is you let it go. So something I'm really trying to learn a lot is to let things go. And believe it or not, that can be really hard. It can be really, really, really hard. But you know what? Life, I think, is too short to hold on to a bunch of things that really aren't tangible. Like, okay, a dice it's an actual thing, but I wanted to find it just, because I had this idea of talking about it while I was holding it and telling you what it felt to me. But as an actor and an improviser, being able to pretend like you're holding something and just be in that moment. I've held a dice before, so I know what it's like. It's not any crazy new experience. I just had this thought that this podcast has been fueling me up for something. God is doing a crazy awesome work through this. Just all these random thoughts. The cool thing about God is He is so intricate with a lot of things that seem impossible to come up with or work together. It's like, how do any of these podcast episodes link together? But like a dice, there's multiple facets, there's multiple faces, there's something different on each side. Most of the time, you could buy a dice where everything is the same on each side, but yep. To when we made cardboard forts. I just want to tell you how this is really hard for me. I feel like this episode is kind of working me more than any of the last 53. The cardboard forts. I may have talked about it before. It's been really awesome that, no topic has overlapped another topic. I might have talked about the same topic, relatively close, but not directly exactly the same. I think I remember mentioning something similar from this story. And it's weird how much our brains remember of things, because when I go back to edit each episode, I feel like subconsciously I remember talking about that thing in that moment, which is a good indication that I was present, even though I was talking. Oh, John Michael Collins, what are you saying? What are you saying? You know exactly what you're saying. Because you are putting the energy to go into your brain to make your vocal cords vibrate and simultaneously move your mouth to make mouth shapes to say different words. And unfortunately, there's mouth noises in there as well, which are and squeaks, on a microscopic audible level. I wonder if you look under a microscope at an organism, if it makes sounds as it moves. And to have a microphone that could pick up that sound would be super cool. But what would be the point? What would be the point of hearing if an atom makes a sound? What was our topic? To when we made cardboard forts. For some reason, when I was little, we had these giant cardboard boxes. Cardboard. We had these giant cardboard boxes. And we put them around the staircase. It was cool because if you looked at it from above, it was like a letter C. I guess for Collins, our last name. We had those hit clip things from McDonald's that each had a different pop song on it. We used as doorbells. I think mine was... It was a song by Britney Spears. I don't remember what it was. But cardboard forts are fun. It's no wonder cats think they're cool. Cardboard boxes. What does a cardboard fort mean to me? I kind of have this bittersweet relationship with cardboard because when you go to IKEA, pretty much everything you buy there is in a cardboard box. And everything is so perfectly packaged inside of there that it's amazing. But it's hard to open. Not always. I wonder where the biggest cardboard fort is. I really, 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 really want to thank you from the deepest part of my heart for tuning in to this episode. If you liked it, please share it with your family and friends and anybody and everyone you know. Also, if you don't mind, head over to my website, which is my creative portfolio, johnmichaelcollins.com. Take care. Godspeed. And again, I appreciate you. I have a smile on my face. Yes, Grandma, I have a smile on my face. It's one thing to smile in front of a camera, but it's another thing to smile in front of a microphone. Peace. Peace of the Lord.
Thanks for listening.